Camera action.
So, what brought you into Burning Man?
I like the desert, and I enjoy the collaboration with other artists and other people.
No, I see in the lifetime. Okay. What's your involvement for Burning Man '96?
Uh, Building the tower again. That's been my main involvement with Pepe.
And what type of tower are you guys building this year?
This year we're building we're building 3 towers, one 30-footer and 2 20-footers in a triangular shape with a stage connecting them together 6 or 8 feet off the ground, maybe as high as 10 feet. I haven't seen the final plans yet. We haven't started putting the steel together for them yet.
And so basically, how are they constructed? I mean, what's the...
Well, we use a steel structure that we kind of preset with weld marks, and we wire them together, or this year we might even have power to weld them together. Then we cover them with stucco mesh, which we wire on, and we get mud from the hot springs and smooth it on. And let it dry and fill it with wood and burn them down.
About how much time of your life does this take up? You know, on average, how much time do you spend with it?
Well, last year we spent 10 days on the playa, building the towers and taking them down. Every year we do more. This year it'll be 2 weeks. And I'd say our involvement is probably 2 weeks to a month before in preparation and getting the materials, working on the plans, have meetings. It's just the general planning and putting it together. And we also kind of get involved a little bit with the benefits, the SOMAR exhibition, things like that. So I'd say it probably takes us a month and a half to 2 months a year that we actually probably do deal with it. The 2 weeks in the desert, but everything else is getting together, preparation, meetings.
Okay, have you made any sacrifices in your life to participate in this project?
No, I don't think so. Only keeping away from my own work, but the nice thing is that you get to, most artists, especially sculptors, we generally work alone. So it's, we enjoy the collaboration, working with other people to put the project out.
And why would you say, I mean, why do you do this?
Why not? You got to do something, right? It's just fun. We have a good time. We build something. We just work together. It's just one of those silly projects you put together and destroy it, and you go on to the next thing. You plan the next year's silly project. Arrested. I know you're going to ask me what about Larry.
Oh yeah, Larry should be arrested.
Yes.
And what do you see as Michael Michaels' roles and John Law's roles in Burning Man? How do they sort of add to the overall experience?
Well, their part is the organization. You know, our part is just small. You know, we work on a little project. They're organizing equipment, people, money, toilets. You know, it's all stuff we use, but it's there for us. So they're making sure that we have something to go into.
Okay.
A port of sand.
One of the main concerns seems to be the size of Burning Man, the eventual, you know, or the exponential doubling and growth of the project. What do you think about that, the whole size question?
I don't know why that's a problem.
So when we get to 50,000.
Well, the playa is pretty big, you know, and as long as the toilets don't fill up, you know, we have very basic needs out there. Actually, you know, I've been going now, I think this will be my 4th year that I've been going to Burning Man, and I think there were about 1,200 people the first year I went. Or maybe 800 to 1,000, 1,200, I can't remember what it was, but I certainly didn't meet everybody. And it seems to spread out, and over the years, there's each year that I've been going, there's a lot more going on. There's theme camps, there's people that set up different things for you to look at, different art cars, different events, all the stuff that early on really wasn't existing that much. So with more people, you get more of this action. It's pretty big. Much bigger than Manhattan. I don't know how many people they got there, 2 million?
Hey, how important is the role of ritual in the Burning Man Festival?
I'm not sure I know how to answer that question.
Or maybe even religion. Is Burning Man a religion?
No. I don't think so. Not to me. It's sort of an event. I mean, it could be a religion because we do practice it all year long, where we all get together and, you know, there's like a core group, as we call them, all the usual suspects, you know, and then we see each other pretty much all through the year, and there are discussions that go on. So, you know, I mean, these could be theological discussions. Of course, we're not discussing anything theological, although, you know, it's hell out there now. Yes, Larry, he'll tell you.
So after the man burns and it's September, about how long does it take before everyone starts working on the next year? Is there much of a break?
We generally have ideas in our head of what we'd like to do for next year, but we don't put them down on paper. We generally start on around maybe January, and you know, we're so busy with all the parties in the meantime, our decompression parties. But probably about January we start having meetings, laying out ideas, and then as the year goes on, it tends to get more solid. And there's always different projects, different things to build. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why you'd say what we do, you know. I mean, you saw ministry, right? This is part of Burning Man in a way, too. What did we do? We tested brains.
Now we are.
We're shooting.
So Al,
I'm a camera.
what do you do for a living?
I make sculpture, if you call this living. And here we are in my sculpture palace here. We have materials, we have all sorts of bits and pieces to put together. We have get a leg up on things. Yes, we're all complete. We can look at stuff. Where do you want to start? We could go see some of my finished stuff if you want. What do you think of that?
Do you bring any of this out to Burning Man, or?
No, not really. I go to Burning Man and I work on other people's projects. I have a little project I'm building this year, sort of a little weird little bicycle cart type of thing that I'm putting together. It's got very small wheels and it's more of the ridiculous, which I guess Burning Man would have to figure it to be. It's a little bit of the ridiculous, wouldn't you think?
Well, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you take all this stuff out in the desert and then you just burn it up and then you go home. Of course, you have a good time doing it all.
What are your hopes for the future of Burning Man?
Yeah, I'm hoping around to go to a few more.
And any fears about the future of Burning Man?
No.
You're fearless.
Fearless, right. Nothing
So,
daunts us.
what
We're
happens-
sculptors, we could care less.
What happens, 100 years from now, Larry Harvey's...
100 years from now, I'm probably not going to be wanting to build towers. I'll probably just be taking a little pail and building little sand cakes.
So, who introduced you to Burning Man, or how did you find out about it?
How did I find out about it? Well, I went to a Desert Site Works, and I had met John Law over at Carl Hauser's studio. Carl does the neon. He puts the tubes together that go on the man. He's also the one with the bicycle, the neon bike. And John was telling me about it, and then I went up to Desert Site Works with him, and decided I'd go to the man. And then Pepe had come up with the idea for the towers, and asked me if I'd help him build them, and I said sure. And it's been a regular thing since then.
How many years have you been doing towers?
4 years.
And each year they get bigger?
They're different.
More...
Each year they're different. The first one was 20 feet tall, and the second one was, well actually Pepe built one at the Site Works, which was a 20-footer. Then the next one we built at the Burning Man, we did a big spiral. And we closed the top and had little chimneys up on there. And it melted and crashed down. And that was fun, so we always make them crash down now. And then last year we got more ambitious, and we built our big tower, and we had 3 smaller ones coming out of it. So it was a cluster of 4. It looked like it was very organic, like it grew out of the ground. And we had snakes all over it, as Pepe says, withering snakes, and suffering snakes. And then this year it's hell, and we're going to have winged creatures on the corners, and a performance stage, and it's going to be very involved. There'll probably be a lot of ritual. I'm not so fully involved in it. I'm more in the construction end of it.
And why hell this year?
I think it's a theme of Pepe's. I mean, last year it was Dante's something. Dante's The Devil's Castle or something like that. And he's generally the one that sets the theme up. Like I said, I'm mostly just a worker.
Now your sculptures seem to be of the more permanent type of sculpture. How do you feel about working on art that is gone after the event?
It's okay. Yeah.
So there's no...
Well, first of all, it's not my art. It's somebody else's art that's gone in the end, and it's okay. You know, it's the nature of it. We build it, and we know it's not going to be there when we're finished. I mean, we finish it, and then it's not going to be there very long after we finish it. And this is not something that's a surprise to us. In fact, we try to think of interesting ways to have it destroy itself.
Mike, let's see. Who knows, this could be used in a future documentary on another subject.
Stuff and more stuff and lots of stuff.
Well, don't let the taggers see this.
The who? Oh, the taggers.
Well, now they're making remote-controlled spray cans now.
The studio's pretty neat at the moment. It's been just cleaned up because I've just finished a series, and I'm getting ready to do another one, so everything is pretty much in its boxes. When I'm working, these tables start filling up with work, and the floor starts filling up. So about once a year, once every couple of years, it sort of gets put back into its somewhat of an order. I mean, I'm not sure what the order is. I just need to find things.
And how many years have you been here?
About 15.
So how many shows do you think you have about a year? Do you...
Vary anywhere from 1 to 5 or 6. Depends. One-man shows, they're not that often. This year I'll have 2, I think. Some years I don't have any. You go to a gallery, you know, you could wait 2 years before you get a show. It's not like I have everything, because it's all sort of theme oriented. I work in series, so I'll develop a concept, and then I'll work the concept until I've got my series complete. And this could take as long as 2 years to do a series, which it has.
And where do you find your materials for your sculpture?
Usually under my mattress. Oh, just everywhere. I mean, you know, just somebody came and brought these to me the other day. They actually traded me for them. I gave them an old table stand, and I got these nice little pieces from a Cadillac. There's a nice little piece. I don't remember where I got this one or what it's for, but it certainly looks interesting. There we are. See, we have a little hat on. Some stuff I'll probably never use. You on?
Okay.
Are you on? So here we are in the finished pieces. You've seen the other stuff. We have things like this is a little funeral urn here. Actually, that's a funeral urn. See, they all have a clear container so you can see out. Very important. One of my series. And this one here, the guy is kind of locked up in. Sort of sits back here in a little tuck and roll. Open him up and he plays How Dry I Am. And we have some primitives, some more funeral urns, little kind of religious one. Another primitive. Here's an urn. See, this is an urn for like the rock and rollers. You know, somebody that needs to keep moving all the time, so you just press the button and you sort of like shake them up, you know. And behind you here we have another urn, which is not on. Ah, there it is. And this is sort of like the industrial urn. It's got the respirator. And here we are. We have this one here is called I'm Just a Calculating Fool, but I have Jesus in my heart. If you peek in here, we will show your audience is waiting. And then we have calculators, we have Jesus. I mean, and let's see, we have carts, we have Doris. You take Doris for walks with you. And more carts here. This is Mr. Machine here. Mr. Machine is very, you do wheelies with Mr. Machine. We have Baby, Have I Got a Bone for You. See? Bone does move. We have a totem here. I mean, you know, this is things that you can take for walks with you. This one here is a messenger of the future, another cart. This is what the messenger is going to look like in a few years. They have a compass to direct them to the areas they're going. Price check on 3. And antennas to receive messages. I mean, it's a complete thing. Then we have, let's see, shall we go around this way? This is one of the tableaus of life. I built 3 tableaus of life. Now, they're things that we face in life. So this one's called Going Places. This one here is called The End. And the one over there with the target is called On the Edge. And I'll demonstrate this is Going Places. Now, it's on wheels, but it only turns in circles. Nice picture to look at. You got a rear view mirror, an ashtray, and handlebars. And you sort of really enjoying it, and this tells you how far you've gone. Then we have, this is called the end, which is an urn also, but it's more of a shrine. And, oh, we have to turn it on. There we are. 9 blinking bulbs. A little pendulum, 2 3D Jesuses. I mean, how much more can you want? Sheepskin horns, ashtray. Ashtray, you ask? Of course we have an ashtray. We don't have a lighter though, but that can be arranged. And on the edge is just kind of like a little thing of all the threatening things that we get. And it's got a little revolving light here in the head that blinks on and off. You can hear it kind of making a rumble. So that's another series here. Then we get into, well, this is a sentry. Big fan of David Smith. He did sentries, he did carts. This is just a piece that sort of evolved real quick, like a bird shape. And here's another sentry. Oh, come on, turn your light on. There we are. Come on. You're supposed to be on guard duty, wake up. And this is a lighted ashtray. This is not a phallic device, this is a warning. See, we have a cigarette warning on here. I hadn't made ashtrays since the Cub Scouts, so I made a couple of ashtray pieces. We have a couple of them. I call these pieces models here, Model A, Model B. They just sort of like hang out and look important.
But it's a stoplight that says don't go any further, huh?
And this is another sentry. And this one here is, that looks like my baby dolls are sliding backwards. I'll have to take care of them. This one is called Assembled in the USA from Imported and Domestic Parts. And we have the little French lantern. It looks like you Frenchman. Another lantern, Mr. and Ms. box. Getting a complete tour of all the works here. We have another urn right here, and you can turn this around and the arms slightly move. I mean, what do you want? Over here we have kind of like a religious urn. See a little herring jar. I did eat the herring before we put the ashes in there. There's another urn right here with some sort of a liquor bottle. Oh, look at this. Little twist. We have a bird, because everybody needs to have a bird in their place. Birds are nice. We have a robot. One of my buddies over here. We generally go in line like this. How's it going? It's all right. Bye. And another bird. We have a couple of. Well, actually, I didn't take the batteries out of that. We have LEDs in this one. And I just generally turn them around so they don't wear out for demonstrations. This is this is from my primitive series. These wall masks. I did a bunch of primitives. That was my latest work before I started doing allegories. Another urn, All American Girl pageant. We have a baby machine. And another urn. Hey, we were just about here. And here we have our, this is Pan with Pan over here. It's sort of like an oracle. If you have any questions, you can ask them. Well, ask them a question. No, don't be afraid. Just speak up.
Who made you?
Why do you ask? It's all right. It's okay.
So you, how often do you have to sort of maintain or fix these sculptures?
Well, it depends on how much they go in and out.
How much action they get?
Yeah, it seems to be the carrying that does it. You know, you pick them up, you put them in a truck, you carry them, you bring them from place to place, they get all moved around. Generally, I have to do a little bit of repair when it comes in again, but nothing major. Just tinkering things. Now this guy, he's always done welds, right? All right, yeah. And we have a couple of pieces. We have a Don't Worry, Be Happy box here, which, see, this you can close down and take with you on the subway. You're riding a train and everything else. Everybody's just open it up and smile. So, and wedding series, obviously. Minutemen. Older pieces. I think these are my teeth. Not very good shape, are they? But what the hell, you got to put them somewhere. And my God, I think we've covered the whole bit here. The brain machine is out right now, so you won't have a chance to see the brain machine on this one.